Hello and welcome to my channel. Today we are doing a tutorial on a C2C As You Go blanket. I got the pattern layout from Miss Pedrix on Instagram. I'll post her information down below. I kept the pattern the same, but I am doing different colors. I'm using Red Heart Comfort yarn, and I'll post the color information below. I'm also using a G6 4mm hook. The yarn I'm using actually calls for an I9 5.5mm hook, but I found that when I did my test swatch, it had too many large gaps that I just didn't like. So I went down a couple sizes. So this video is intended for intermediate crocheters and those who have a general knowledge of the C2C stitch. I'll post some links below to some videos that I think may be helpful for you in learning how to do the C2C stitch if you don't know how to do it. So here is the colors layout, and I'll refer back to this as we go along. But we will start at the bottom right of the graph right here where I'm pointing. And each square on this graph represents a certain number of stitches, so of C2C stitches going across and up. So I'll just explain that here. This swatch right here is about half of one of these 1 centimeter squares on the paper. And so that can kind of help you calculate how wide and how long it's going to be, and to help you calculate how much yarn you're going to use. So the decrease part of this video is going to differ a little bit from most of the C2C videos that are on YouTube right now. So most of the corner to corner decreases, it will have you complete a slip stitch along here, 3 slip stitches along here, and then a 4th slip stitch in this chain space, and then you would continue on as the pattern calls for. However, with a C2C As You Go, we're going to actually chain 3, and then we're going to slip stitch in, here, let me just zoom in so you can see a little bit better. So we've chained 3, and then we're going to slip stitch in this chain 3 space right here. And so that chain 3 is going to lay flat along the tops of the stitches from the row below. And so you can see now how this is going to start to square off. Just zoom out so you can see the whole thing again. I'll just move my hook. Okay, so now we're going to continue. I'm just going to go back to the graph for a second. If you look here, there are 2 pink squares. And so if each square represents 9 stitches this way and 9 stitches that way, then we're going to have to go 9 stitches across and 18 stitches up. Okay, so as I've already done here, start with the C2C swatch and go until there's 9 C2C squares on each side here, and then across diagonally here. Sorry, I'll just zoom out and re-explain that. So make sure you have 9 stitches here and 9 C2C blocks. Sorry, I shouldn't say stitches, I should say blocks. 9 C2C blocks going up here and across here. And there should also be 9 coming across this way too. And so you're just going to continue on with the pattern. So we've decreased, and now we're going to chain 3 and do 3 double crochet in that same chain 3 space. And so you will notice that it kind of looks a little bit wonky right here, but don't worry. When we come back for the next row, this will flatten out. So don't worry if it kind of looks like it's sticking out a little bit. And you're just going to keep going across. As you do your C2C. So like I said, I'm not going to explain how to do the actual C2C portion here. You guys can find out how to do that in another video, but I did want to show you how the decrease differed from most of the C2C videos on the internet. So we're going to keep increasing this side until there's, I think, 18 stitches or 18 C2C blocks, and we're going to keep decreasing on this side. I would strongly recommend that you make your own rectangle first, and you can decrease however you want, whether you want to do it the conventional way or this way, but just to practice how to get the shape that you want. And I will meet you at the end of this row, and we'll show you how the increase works. I'll get you to stop the video and you can make your swatch to however long you want to make it for your pattern. If you're not following a pattern, you can actually get this layout on Instagram, and it's not that it's difficult to decipher, it's just that if you have never done a C2C as you go, it can look very intimidating, but it's actually really quite simple. So we'll just finish up this last square here. Chain 3. Double crochet 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we'll just go over this again. This is the side that we're decreasing on, and this is the side that we're going to increase on. So we will do the chain up 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We'll turn our work, and then we will double crochet into the 4th chain from the hook. And then you just continue on across. You slip stitch into the chain 3 space, chain 1, chain 2, chain 3, and 3 double crochets. And I will see you at the end of this row so that we can go over how to do a decrease again, and then I will come back when I'm ready to start decreasing the tall side. And so we get to the end of this row here, and let me just zoom in a bit so we can see. So we're going to insert our hook into this chain 3 space, yarn over, slip stitch. Okay, and then what we're going to do is a decrease, so we're going to chain 3, turn our work, and that chain 3 is going to lay down across here, and we're going to insert our hook into that other chain 3 space, yarn over, slip stitch, and you can see that's coming along really nicely. It's nice and straight. Okay, and then we'll just continue on as we normally would with our chain 3 and 3 double crochets. So continue doing that until you get to about 17 C2C squares going up, and then I will come back. Oops. When you have 17 C2C squares going up the long side, stop and then come back to this video. Okay, so we've gotten to the point where I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 C2C blocks along the bottom. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 blocks going up. So this is actually the right side is how it should be laying with the tail end over here. So now we're going to start decreasing on both sides, and that will help close up this gap right here. So we do it the exact same way as we do on the other side. We're going to chain 3, chain 1, chain 2, chain 3. We're going to turn our work and slip stitch into this chain 3 space right here. I'm just going to zoom in a little bit. Okay, so we'll slip stitch, and as you can see, that closes it off really nicely. And then we chain 3 and 3 double crochet. And just like before, this will flatten out when we come back for the next row. And so we just keep going back and forth, and I will meet you when we come to the last row, and I will show you how to finish it off. So we're approaching the end of the rectangle here, so I'm just going to go over just the last few rows with you. We will slip stitch, chain 3, turn our work, and then again we will slip stitch in that chain 3 space, build a block, chain 3, and 3 double crochets. Slip stitch, chain 3, 3 double crochet, and then we are at the end, so we will slip stitch, chain 3, turn our work, and slip stitch again, chain 3, 3 double crochet, and so I'm just going to zoom in here so we can see what we're doing. To square this off, we are going to slip stitch, chain 3, turn our work, and join with another slip stitch. And so you can see now how we have a nice, perfectly squared rectangle. So we're going to clip our thread and then just pull the thread through. And so you want to, before you actually do that, you should mark where your starting point was. This also indicates that this is the front, because this is where we started. This is where we finished. Okay, and I will see you in next video for part 2.